This is a special report from the AgriPod News Desk. Here is Mike Hubbard and Ken Jenkins.
What's up, Mike Hubbard?
Happy holidays, Ken Jenkins.
Happy holidays to you, brother.
We've almost made it.
Through another year.
Another one.
Yeah.
In the books.
In a year it has been.
We've learned a lot. Couple old dudes.
You know I learned a lot this year, man.
Oh, bro. Learned a lot. Been through a lot.
I learned a lot. Been through a lot. 2021, I'm glad it's done.
You made it through to the other side, though.
Yeah, man.
Thank God. Thank
God. Well, welcome everyone to our first Christmas special.
Yes.
I feel like we should have some Christmas music going.
That would be a nice touch.
But I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, I know. Licensing is so complicated.
Yeah, we should.
You know what I mean?
We should have had some.
We could have made our own little mixtape.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Play Curtis Blow's Christmas rap.
Yeah, he don't care. He won't sue us.
Is he still alive?
I don't know, man. That's a good question.
You were just in New York. Curtis Blow still alive?
I was. I didn't see Curtis.
You didn't see Curtis?
Did not. Didn't see Jay.
No, didn't see Jay.
No.
The Jazzy.
I didn't see nobody.
Jay or Bouncy.
You know what? I saw Latrell Sprewell.
You did?
I did.
Was he in an orange suit?
He was in a blue suit.
He was in an orange jumpsuit.
Oh no. No, he's free.
He is free.
I might have seen an ankle bracelet, but
did he choke you?
He free. No, he didn't. I didn't get close
You
enough.
didn't get close enough. That's probably a good thing.
And I didn't speak.
You didn't speak to
You know, he wasn't them angry looking brothers.
He's just angry all the time,
what I mean?
man.
And he tall, and I'm like, no, I don't think I'm gonna bother him.
What was he doing?
He was actually in this restaurant that was in the hotel we were staying in.
Oh, you were balling.
No, we were not.
You were in the hotel with Spree.
No, we weren't. But we were near Madison Square Garden.
You were in the Four Seasons?
No, sir.
The Ritz?
No.
No?
But it's near the Garden, and it was a night they played L.A.
Oh, okay.
And people said he's in this restaurant all the time.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I saw him.
Is he waiting?
No,
Cooking?
he just kind of... I thought he was a bouncer for a minute.
He still got some of that NBA money left?
I don't know. I hope he does.
Yeah, I hope the brother does too.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, it's good to be back.
Yeah, man.
It's good to be back for another episode. There's so many things we want to talk about. But first of all, we got a lot of stuff going on here at the table.
A lot.
A lot of stuff.
Got the nativity scene there.
Yeah.
Got some recommended readings.
Absolutely.
Some angels. We need them.
We need angels.
They on my side of the table.
Yeah, we noticed that, right?
Yeah.
You got all the angels on your side.
I need them, bro.
I used up my angels
I know.
a couple of months ago.
Your angels on vacation.
My angels like, I'm taking a break.
It's like, this dude done wore us out. We'll see you in the new year, bro.
I need some 2022 angels.
Yeah.
Well, we got some angels here. We got the baby Jesus. We got Mary, and we got some wise men sitting at the table.
Finally.
We got some comic book characters, and of course, we representing our HBCs.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a good topic. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, man.
On the upcoming episode. The new wave of college athlete that's going to HBCs and just that whole decision process.
Yes.
It's changed, man, since we were kids.
It has. And I think when the last president was elected or the last few years, I've heard enrollment or applications at HBCUs have like skyrocketed.
Really?
And more of our young people are choosing HBCUs.
You talking about the orange dude or the one before him?
The orange dude.
The orange dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, that was in combination with all the social unrest and things like that. It spurred a resurgence. A lot of black kids want to be with their own people.
Gotcha.
You know,
And Dion going to Jackson State didn't hurt.
it did not hurt.
Prime time.
Prime. But before we go on, we would be remiss not to congratulate the South Oak Cliff Golden Bag.
SOC.
Yeah,
2021 champs.
in the house. Good
Yeah.
job.
Good job, man.
Oak Cliff.
Oak Cliff. I'm from New York.
I know you don't know nothing about Oak Cliff, bro.
I don't know nothing about. I'm high side.
High side, man. That boy. That's where the high side originated.
Did you grow up in Oak Cliff?
No, man. I grew up in Fair Park, South Dallas.
Fair Park, South Dallas. Is that better than Oak Cliff? Or is that?
We thought it was. But it's funny, when I was in high school, the Oak Cliff girls looked down upon us.
Really?
Yeah.
Not just because you were short.
See.
High side.
You know, see. Where's my angels, man? I need I'm gonna turn this one this way.
You ain't gonna turn towards me.
No, they view Fair Park, South Dallas as like the real ghetto.
Really?
Back in the day, Oak Cliff was kind of like the suburbs.
Oh.
See, people recently moved here. Now they call all of that Southern Dallas.
Okay.
Back in the day, that's not what it was.
Okay.
South Dallas was in that St. Phillips, Fair Park, Bonton, Lincoln
Bonton.
High School. You never heard of Bonton?
It's the ice cream, isn't it?
No, bro. It's a neighborhood.
Bonton.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
That's where Chris Bosh, the great Chris Bosh, grew up in Bonton.
Really?
Yeah, man.
So you guys had levels to the hoodism.
We did.
Yeah.
You know,
In South
we
Dallas.
didn't know any better.
Fair Park.
I mean, Oak Cliff was more single family homes, you know, professionals. Probably the education level was a little higher. So there was kind of a difference, kind of. But now it's all South Dallas.
Because I know when we were first looking at a home out here, we looked in Oak Cliff. Because there were some parts, the homes were just incredible.
Right. Like over near, I think they call it Dallas Country Club now.
Okay.
Is it Dallas Country Club? The golf course Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship recently bought. That was like a upscale black neighborhood.
Okay.
You know, like politicians and athletes and whatnot kind of lived in that area. But over the years, black people started moving out into DeSoto, Duncanville, Cedar Hill, Red Oak. And that's why with South Oak Cliff, that's the first DISD school to win a football title in since Carter. Did Carter win the state championship? When they had all those guys?
I know they won. No, was that the year that they were
Took it
ineligible?
away from them? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year they took it away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine, a guy I met who was actually in my film, directed that movie, Carter High. And another friend produced it. Yeah, I think that was the year they took it away from them.
Right. So yeah, that kind of when black people started moving out to the burbs from Oak Cliff, it diluted all of the talent in DISD, in my opinion.
Like this ice ball is diluting my
Your coffee, your tea. I know. Don't you hate it when that happens?
Hate it when that happens.
Wow.
Anyway, we've digressed enough.
We have.
Let's talk about something that we brought up in our conversations about our younger generations and the desensitivity to violence.
Right.
Something that I personally think we have video games to blame.
You really? So you're in that camp?
I'm in that camp. We are so desensitized to violence because it's such a part of our everyday life now. Not just, it's no longer I only see it when I turn on the news at night.
Right.
It's like I'm buying it for my kids to entertain them. Right. These violent games. I was watching some program the other day and the commercial for Call of Duty came on.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sitting there flabbergasted
It looks cool though.
It looks cool, but then this was, just a couple of weeks after the young man shot the folk in Mansfield in the school in Mansfield. And then a couple of weeks before the other young kid, with the help of his parents,
Right.
shot the kids up in the Wisconsin school.
Right. Right.
And I'm saying to myself, man, at some point we have got to take accountability for what we're doing and how we're raising this next generation. What are your thoughts?
But it's funny because compared to our generation, we actually experienced violence because we would have fights, fist fights on a regular.
Yeah, fist fights don't happen anymore,
No.
except for in boxing.
Right. And so now kids don't actually experience real violence.
There's nothing like the experience of getting punched in your nose,
Oh my God.
right? To
Or
humble,
punched in the eye.
yeah, because then you got to go back home and you got to explain that to your dad,
Right.
And if you had a dad like mine, he was like, "You better go back out there.
And you got to go back.
You need to go back." Then you come back with two black
Two
eyes.
black eyes. And a bloody nose now.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because they only experience violence through the lens of a movie or a video game or some fictional type situation. But I can remember, man, I never forget. We were this rec center we used to hang out at one summer.
in
you know, and they
Fair
were-
Park, South
It's
Dallas
in
Fair
South
Park.
Dallas, bro.
They had rec centers there.
We had a rec center
Okay.
with actual indoor gym and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, we did. We had water fountains with cold water in it and everything.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
You have lights?
We had lights. The lights worked. But anyway, we would hang out at the rec center. Back in the day, softball games were a big deal. So like at night, there would be softball games going on, people at the rec center, a lot of activity. And one night we were just up there, because back in the day, if you had beef with people, and you see the person, you was gonna fight.
Meet you at 3:00.
You was gonna fight.
You at
But
3
this
o'clock.
one dude, we was just standing there talking, and this dude like walked past us. Next thing I know, I hear this loud dude just cold cocked the dude and knocked him out. Scared the crap out of me, man. That's the hardest punch I've ever seen. Scared the crap out of me. But that's the kind of stuff we experienced. But we didn't even have the fear of, well, he's gonna go get a gun.
Yeah.
Dude might have a knife, maybe. But
And the knife was really taking it to another level at that point,
exactly.
right? If you had a
Dudes who
knife-
carried knives was like hardcore.
or one of those Afro picks, because those things were
You
sharp.
can hurt somebody.
Yeah, you could hurt somebody with one of those.
An Afro pick to the eye, man.
Yeah,
that would be bad.
And I had one of those big afros too. I had one of those
So-
it wasn't even the Michael Jackson for it. It was with Foster Silvers.
Oh,
Remember
my
the
God.
Silvers?
That was serious, bro.
It was like
Where like the wind blowing, it be
oh
blowing.
man, it looked so nice. I wish we had slow mo back then.
Right.
Man. I mean, it'd have been like,
And with your silk shirt on.
yeah, my bell bottom. Anyway,
Dude, anyway. Yeah, so I think the generation now, they don't really, maybe they don't understand violence is real. Maybe, I don't know what it's weird. A part of me wants to go along with you on that, but the other part of me is like, you got to know if you shoot somebody, you're going to hurt them.
you're gonna hurt him, you're gonna kill him, and you may go to jail for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If not, get shot yourself.
If you're black, you're going to jail.
If you're black, you're gonna
No
get shot.
question.
You can get shot.
Right.
first. Then if you survive, you're going to jail.
You're going to jail.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I hesitate to blame it on video games.
Well, not just video games. So I use video games as the overarching example,
Yeah.
right, of the things that we're allowing our kids to take into their spirits, right? You made a good comment to me, and actually I just said it to someone the other night, a good friend of mine who helped me decorate.
And the decorations are beautiful.
Yeah,
You guys can't see it, but
yeah.
it's absolutely beautiful.
And to feel a lot like Christmas.
It does, even though it's like 75 degrees. It does feel like Christmas.
and you counted them up. What I got 6 Christmas trees?
6 trees.
But they're little trees. They're 2 decent sized trees, and the other ones are little ones.
Right.
Tabletops.
And some black Santas. I love the black Santas.
Yeah, man. Although we know Santa wasn't black.
He went, well, because the brother ain't living at the North Pole.
No, too cold.
Stop high
Too
side.
cold.
He might visit, but he ain't living there.
I just felt like this year, man, I wanted to really, really celebrate just being here, being alive, and another year, and really get into the festivities. And
Don't take it for granted.
yeah, you definitely can't take it for granted.
Yep,
But we were talking about violence. I know we get off track.
we do.
We get off track a lot.
It's okay.
We're 50-something,
Yeah, we 50-something.
and we know a little something.
And if I just see like a light flashing over there, it's like,
Distracted.
what was that?
It's like the dog, right? Squirrel, squirrel.
Right. Chasing cars all over the place. But anyway.
So I think you had made a good comment to me the other day about the song that I was singing during one of those conference calls when I was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a song by a friend of a friend, Darlene McCoy, saying, "I will live and not die."
Right.
Right. And then you made the comment about, it makes you realize that you have to pay attention to what you're taking in.
Right.
Right. Because those are words that I spoke, not even realizing I was speaking or singing them.
Right.
Apparently, I was trying to
Right.
sing them.
You did.
But it was so apropos to that moment,
Right.
right? Fighting for my life and trying to get better and just speaking to God.
Yeah.
So my point being, we let these things enter into our kids' spirits through their what old folk used to call the eye gates,
Right.
right? And then they end up reliving those things in how they deal with other people.
Right.
They don't see death as a final end all and be all.
Right.
They just see it as, going to the next level in the game.
And, just to take that even a step further,
Mm-hmm.
relationships now are so virtual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People date through apps. People play video games with each other via the internet. Even church now, most of us are still virtual.
Right.
So our interaction with each other face to face has dwindled. I mean, just think about it. This is a sunny Saturday. It's a little chilly, but all the way over here to your house, I don't see any kids riding bikes, playing football, nothing. No kids outside.
True.
We stayed in the streets,
Till the street lights came on.
till the street lights came on.
If they were working.
Didn't matter the weather.
If they were working in my neighborhood.
See, well, we would be breaking them out so they wouldn't work.
We'd be tapping into them, plugging, putting.
You'd be like, "Mom, it didn't come on. It's broke."
But you're right. You're right. We'd be outside and not coming in. Hated to come in. Right, Mama, can I stay outside just a few more minutes?
Right.
Right, till my daddy whistled.
Right.
Right? He had this whistle that everyone in the
You
neighborhood
hear like
knew.
up the block.
Oh my goodness! If you heard that, everyone stopped just for a second, because it was like the universal neighborhood whistle.
Like, Ken, your
Right.
dad is
And they're
calling
like,
you,
"Oh,
bro.
Ken, your dad calling you. Better go.
You better leave, man."
You better leave." Yeah, but we stayed outside.
Right. And we learned how to interact. We learned how to manage conflicts and deal with bullies and all of that, Kids now don't know how to do it. So when they're confronted with an interpersonal situation, a lot of them really don't know what to do.
They just kill.
Right. So their inclination is to, first thing they do is lash out.
Yeah.
Now, how they get guns and all that, that's a whole nother topic.
Oh my goodness.
Because when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, getting a gun wasn't even, it wasn't a thought.
How did you get one?
Bruh, I don't know. And again, maybe, at least when I was growing up, 1 out of 20 guys might have had a gun, maybe.
Oh, you lived in a good neighborhood. I think 5 out of every 6.
Oh my God!
had a gun. Well, I grew up in the South
He was
Bronx,
in the Bronx,
but you just unless you were part of the gang or
whatever, right?
you know, how did you even come across
Man, I
a
don't
gun?
know. I don't know.
It's just amazing.
But now parents are gifting guns to
Gifting.
their kids
We in Texas too,
for Christmas.
gifting them guns for Christmas.
Come on, man.
And there's a whole nother theory behind that too, where we look at the demographics of the neighborhoods where the killings are occurring in. And we've always done a poor job of caring for our own in our own communities. And I think that that's even the level of violence where that's concerned has even gone up. We've become even more desensitized to our own.
Right,
Like especially our young men, like we're expendable.
right. And you don't even really pay attention to it. They don't really talk about the Chicago killings much anymore, but it's like every weekend it's like multiple shootings and killings. It's I don't know. It's like, how did we get here? And I don't know. It's sad, but what do we do?
Mm.
Or is it too late?
So I've got multiple personalities, right?
Yeah.
I know you know that.
I do.
And so the pessimist in me says, yeah, we missed the boat. The optimist in me says no, because I see so many young folk that are doing positive things to uplift themselves in their communities.
Yeah.
And so so we've had some people on the show,
Yeah.
Bobby Hampton,
Yeah.
we had on the show.
Right.
Phenomenal young lady,
Yes.
daughter of a good friend of ours, Carol Hampton,
Yeah.
owner of The Date
The Date.
Catering.
Holiday season, if you need catering, call
Yeah.
Carol Hampton.
Called The Date.
The Date. She's on Facebook.
And if you're good looking and you're female, after you call Carol at The Date, call me for a date.
See, look, we was doing all right. For
Yeah.
15 minutes, we was doing all right.
I'm sorry, man.
That's all right, bro.
I'm still working on my short-term memory,
That's okay.
trying to get back on
I'll
track.
help you. Mine ain't much better.
No, well,
And
yeah.
I ain't even had
I can
COVID.
blame mine on COVID, though.
I know. I don't know what I can blame mine on. I don't know. Some old habits I used to have, I guess,
Yeah.
back in the day.
Tell us about some of those old habits back in South Dallas Fair
We
Park.
don't need to know about all that. I've been born again.
Yes, amen.
And what were we saying? I forgot. See? I forgot.
We were talking about violence in our young folk and becoming desensitized to it.
But and you were mentioning some of the positive. There are lots of positive stories.
Yes.
But the question is, are those the exception? Because, we got to admit, man, we kind of live in a bubble.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, we do. We do.
And I don't know if our experiences at this stage in our lives are representative of the majority experience. You know what I mean? Of what's really happening.
That's a great question.
Because we've kind of removed ourselves from all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not proud of it, but
That's
kinda
a whole nother issue, though.
it is.
Just what are our goals in life? Are we are taught and trained to get up and get out, do the Jeffersons, right? Move on up to the east side.
But we the only people that are taught to do that. There's homes in Highland Park that have been in generations.
This is true.
People just stay there. They don't sell it. They
This
stay.
is true.
Black people, we bounce.
Well, I mean, but you got to look at that historically, though, right? You got to look at what is it that we're gifting, leaving, bequeathing, to the next generations? Do we have that kind of wealth where we'd want to or have a home to leave?
But I think we don't allow time to accumulate that, because real estate is something to leave.
It is something to leave, but we've allowed 400 years to go by. That's some time for you.
Well,
and the opportunities to own land, property just didn't exist. I mean, we've heard of all of the stories about, when veterans came back from wars and certain veterans were excluded from home ownership and redlining and redistricting and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that if we had the opportunity to leave something, we would. No?
But I think where we have, the mistake we've made, we bought into the water is colder theory.
I don't know that theory. I know the grass is greener theory.
Oh, the ice is colder.
I don't know that one either.
You don't know that one?
I don't know. Tell me about that. The ice is cold.
That's where we think, well, if the white folk are doing this, that's the way to go. Because if you notice the patterns, we follow them.
Yeah.
If they move here, we move there. If their kids go to these schools, our kids don't go to those schools.
But that's a whole psychological brainwashing theory that we could go into there as to why we feel that way. You remember the educational study where the kids were given, was it back in the 60s, where the kids were given white dolls and black dolls, and pick the one that's nice and pick the one that's bad and all that stuff. I mean, we've lived in a world, and this is not a critique, it's just the truth, right? We live in a world in which we've seen the betterment of society be restricted and reserved for a select people.
Right.
And so we look at it and we say, oh man, their car is better than ours. Their house is better than ours. They have more money than we do. I want what they have. True.
But I've been recently exposed to some history around Black entrepreneurship in the U.S.
That's right, because you're going for your PhD, right?
No, sir.
Dr. Hubbard.
No, sir.
I can't wait for that day, man. No, I'm going to be up there hooting and hollering.
No, sir.
Dr. Hubbard.
Not a doctor.
It's okay.
But historically, even during slavery, Black people were entrepreneurs, business owners, innovators, inventors. Slavery, white people didn't even know how to really grow cotton until they brought slaves here. We taught them agriculture. So we built, there's one story and his name escapes me. We need to do a whole show on this topic. This guy was a brother. He was the richest man in New York, Black or white, a brother. And this was like post-slavery. There's story after story after story of Black people being successful, wealthy, in the face of racism, unjust laws, violence, all of that. And over and over again, we've done that. So this history has been kept from us, and that's why we think, we look at the other people and say, oh, that's better. Oh, let me do that. We don't realize we've done that. We've been there and done that. But if we don't know that history, that's why it's so important that our kids know this stuff.
That's why it's being excluded from our educational channels.
Right. Because if I would have known this information I'm learning now when I was 10 or 11, then my whole way of thinking would have been different. Because I would have been thinking, okay, if these people could do this during slavery and after slavery, why can't I do it now? But the sad part about it is every time we would build these communities and build these economic ecosystems in our communities, they would literally come in and destroy it.
Did anyone say Tulsa?
Tulsa, It happened, Durham, North Carolina was another place that was similar to Tulsa where it happened. They would literally come in and destroy it. So now we are starting over.
Stop high-siding.